Brian, hello. Thank you for being with us here in Rome for Rotary Institute.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Julia. Thank you.
So, you are the Vice Chair of the Joint Advisory Council of Diversity, Equity and Inclusion of Rotary International, right?
Correct.
And what have changed from the task force to the council right now?
Oh my gosh, so much has changed. You know, when we started the task force 3 years ago, President Holger Kanak, who's here with us, he brought together people from around the world who represented different regions, who represented different affinities, to come together to assess where the 1.4 million members of Rotary are and how we could start doing more to expand diversity, equity, and inclusion within the organization to really make better every aspect of it, whether that's from membership to programming to projects, whatever that was. And so when we started, we hired PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, to do a survey of all our members and to kind of gauge where we were at. And with that, we made a lot of recommendations to the board of directors of RI that how could we improve, what we should be doing. And so the RI board accepted those recommendations. We have a new code of conduct, which we brought forth, and that is really about how we can learn to engage better with our members and our fellow Rotarians and how we can do that better. And then the exciting thing that just changed recently was that when we started the task force, it was set up for 3 years, and that 3 years in June of this year. And when we became the Rotary International Advisory Council, that's a permanent position. And our more exciting is that we are now focused on both working with the Rotary International Board of Directors and also the Rotary trustees of the foundation and helping them to implement the strategy for Rotary International, which DEI is an active part of that strategy. And a few things changed. You know, we had some members that had been on the task force that for a variety of reasons cycled off because they had other commitments that they had to focus on. And we had new members join us. And so we have 3 new members currently, 1 from Oceania, 1 from Brazil, and 1 from Japan. And then the rest of the members currently are still active on that. We'll be changing that, so in every year some members will be leaving the task force, or the council, sorry, and new ones will be coming on. And it's just a really exciting time to get new information, engage with new people and new voices, and learn about the different regions. Primary reason for the advisory council at the moment is to work to be a resource for the board and the trustees for how they can really be incorporating more DEI, but also to be a resource for members. And one of the things that we've really been focusing on is regionalization, because DEI is different in every region. I live part-time in Spain and part-time in California. Those 2 regions have very different needs in regards to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here in Italy, the issues that are important to people in Italy are going to be much different than the issues that are important to people in South Africa or in the Philippines. And so we really need to be looking at those issues and how we can adapt the different strategies for diversity, equity, and inclusion to those different regions. And that's what's really exciting about this is that we're moving forward.
Okay. Besides regionalization, what are you currently working on?
So another thing that we're really working for is how we can be more inclusive. Okay. How we can have conversations about inclusion and even create sort of a guidebook for what we can be doing to reach out to more variety of members that we can really enhance, because diversity has always been one of Rotary's core values from the very beginning. It's one of the first things that we did. But now that we're talking about it more, we're running into challenges. And so how do we address those challenges when we do that? How are we able to have the conversations with people to really say, hey, this is why this is important, this is why this would enhance your club, your district, and really make for a better member experience within the organization.
Yeah, and talking about the fact that the task force started in 2020,
yeah. Why
it is so important to talk about these topics in 2023?
I think that so the task force, in my view, and I think there was a lot of reasons why it started. In the United States, there was the murder of George Floyd, which really first set the tone of this is an emergency. We need to start doing something, because there was so much in the U.S., a lot of racial conflict. But in other regions, we look around the world at our membership, and there's different things. So the LGBT community, for example, in Uganda, it's under attack from the government there, and it really is sort of, what are we doing to protect our LGBTQ members and family in Uganda right now? Or even when you look at something as simple as women in Rotary, which in many regions has really changed quite a bit. And I remember I was an exchange student in 1988. And that was a year after Sylvia Whitlock became the first female president, and after the Supreme Court decided that the US at least, Rotary had to allow women. But when I was exchange student, there were no women in Rotary. And if you look at it now, it's much better, but it's not parity. We have not reached that. And I can't imagine a world without women in Rotary. You look at what happens in the Rotary world to now, and not just with you know, former President Jennifer Jones and President-elect Stephanie, but just on every level of the organization, women are such an integral part. And what are we really doing to increase that, to elevate that, to make those voices heard? And I think that that's what it is. You know, I'm a gay man. When I first joined Rotary, I joined when I was 25 years old, which was many, many years ago. And I joined the Rotary Club of Hollywood. And at that time, even though that was a very progressive club, I felt very uncomfortable. And I didn't feel that it was something that I could really share my whole, full, authentic self when I came that. And I think that that's what we're trying to do with a lot of this, is allow for people to show up to Rotary as themselves and their whole selves. And they can really be, when they can do that, they really are allowed to make contributions to the organization in a way that we've never seen before. And I think that that's what we see with women. And if we start opening the door to other affinity groups, we're going to see that even more. We're going to see it enhanced.
Okay, that's very important, and it was a pleasure to have you here with us in Italy, and maybe we will talk about some update later on in the next years.
I would love that, and you know, I'm not far from here, but I'll come to Italy. Fly from Barcelona is like €80.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really nice to meet you.